was one of the very important sources for that. Your YouTube videos, the explainers, the MCQ series on different reports, budget, economic surveys, that provided me with very good practice. I also extracted content out of those explainer videos to include in my notes.
Oliveboard का वो मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम था, उसमें अनिल सर के 2-3 सेशंस हुए थे, तो उन्होंने भी गाइड किया कि क्या अप्रोच रखना चाहिए, अगर मेंस का पेपर के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए अगर अप्रोच रखना है तो वो कैसे रखना है, तो इस तरह से ओवरऑल फिर एग्जीक्यूशन के साथ में हुए।
Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the class 4 guys. Very good afternoon to all of you. Let's quickly start the session. Okay. So today will be the part 2 basically of your July month. Yesterday we have covered a lot of questions from the July month, right? We have already concluded the August month, July part 1st, and this will be July part 2nd. Okay. Very good evening everyone. Let's quickly start the session. The very first question related to the digital payments, right? Can you tell me which of the following were the major contributors to the increase in the digital payments here? Recently RBI has released the digital payment related index. Very good. The correct answer is payment infrastructure supply side and the payment performance, right? Acha, can you tell me factors like digital identity system, banking channels, network reach, internet and mobile penetration, which parameters include these components? Which parameters include these components? Any idea? Is it related to payment performance or consumer centricity, payment enablers, demand side infrastructure or supply side infrastructure? It is payment enablers. Okay, it is payment enablers. Very good. Payment enablers. Next one. Tell me the increase in the index during the period. I'm talking about increase from the last published data, not on year basis. Okay, not on year basis. I'm asking you increase from the last published data in September 2024. Very good, it is 6%. Okay, it is 6%, or and if I talk about the year basis, the correct answer will be 10.7%, right? 10.7% is the year basis growth rate. Growth rate from the last published data is close to 6%, right? So the current data is 493.22. okay, this is nothing but the digital payment index which was recently published. Very important for your examination. Okay, don't leave this particular news, can be very important, right? Now we can see the driving reasons as well, payment infrastructure supply side and the payment performance. These two are the main contributing reasons, and we have discussed about the weights as well. The highest weight is of payment performance, right? Then followed by the payment enablers, then supply side, then demand side, and last consumer centricity. Okay, next one. India's fintech ecosystem continues to witness innovation with new AI powered platforms. A fintech firm recently launched what is being claimed as the India's first fully AI-driven fintech software under the brand name Next Banking. Yes, perfect. Option A. Option A is correct, right? Lara, where is the correct choice? Option A. Option A. Okay. Next one. In collaborative efforts to expand the insurance access in the rural India, LIC has partnered with the Ministry of the Rural Development. This initiative will promote a new scheme focused on training women to offer insurance solutions at the grassroots level. Very, very important. It's Bima Sakhi Yojana, right? Option D, Bima Sakhi Yojana. Next one. The UPI has transformed India's digital payment landscape. Which of the following combination of banks contributes to the majority of the share in the UPI beneficiary routing? So now it was recently published in the month of July, related to the bunch of banks who are contributing the most of the majority of the share in the UPI beneficiary routing here. The correct choice here will be option B, Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and HDFC Bank. Okay, Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and HDFC Bank. Next one. In July 2025, RBI permitted banks to use the rating of a new credit rating agency. Now I think I have discussed it yesterday only, right? For the non-resident corporates at the IFSC under the Basel III capital regulations, which new agency is added. Very, very important. It is CareEdge Global IFC Limited, right? Please do remember this one. Very, very important. Next one. Which of the following statement is or are correct regarding the UPI beneficiary transaction as per the NPCI recently published data? Yes Bank currently handles around 40% of the UPI beneficiaries. 4 private sector banks process nearly 60% of the total UPI incoming payments. Option 3, NPCI is encouraging further concentration of UPI traffic in the top banks for efficiency. Yes Bank dominance is largely due to the back-end integration with PhonePe merchants. The correct choice is only 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. No such thing like statement 3 was discussed in that particular report. Okay. Though not so important, still we are covering it. Okay. Though not so important. So we can see that majorly 4 banks are handling the bulk of UPI beneficiary transaction, where Yes Bank is leading with a 40% share. So you need to be aware of the fact that Yes Bank is still a dominant player in this category, right? Next one can be very, very important. The trade receivable discounting system platform facilitates the financing of the trade receivables with the MSMEs, right? What is the main objective of the SBI and TReDS partnership under the TReDS framework? Main objective of SBI and TReDS partnership. Please do remember these 2 entity names and the partnership which they have formed in the TReDS framework. This can directly come in the examination. To enable the digital supply chain financing for the MSMEs. Okay, to enable the digital supply chain financing for MSMEs, and the name is SBI and TReDS. They can ask you the aim, they can ask you even the name of the entities. Okay. Next one. In context of the climate finance for net zero goals, the credibility of a report greenhouse gas reduction depends on certain standardized system. What is the abbreviation of MRV? It is crucial for ensuring accurate data tracking, right? So what is the full form of MRV here? MRV. देखो नो डाउट ट्रेड्स उसी के लिए, पर ये पार्टनरशिप का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, दैट इज द मैटर. ओके, पार्टनरशिप का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, दैट इज द मैटर. फिर भी एक बार चेक कर लेंगे क्वेश्चन को. ओके, आई चेक इट आफ्टर द सेशन कि अगर कोई उसके अंदर कोई डिफॉर्मिटी तो नहीं है क्वेश्चन के ऑप्शंस में. ओके, द करेक्ट आंसर हियर इज मॉनिटरिंग, रिपोर्टिंग एंड वेरिफिकेशन. मॉनिटरिंग, रिपोर्टिंग एंड वेरिफिकेशन, ऑप्शन बी. ओके, दिस इज फ्रॉम अ आई थिंक डेप्यूटी आरबीआई गवर्नर की स्पीच में से क्वेश्चंस बने थे, राइट. Green finance discussion identified 2 broad enablers for mobilizing the funds. One category consists of the mechanisms that are internal to the financial system. Now these categories are internal to the financial system, such as climate risk, data flows and the MRV systems. What are these called? What are these called? Option A. Option A here is the correct choice. These are two terminologies that we discussed at that time. So the internal ones is option A, and the external support mechanism containing the risk capital, concessional funding, institutional harmonization is the option B. Okay. So you need to remember these two terminologies. A low probability question. Still, अगर ये question आ गया तो majority of the students से solve नहीं होने वाला examination के अंदर. This is from the Green Finance for the Net Zero Goals. So I have taken this particular question on 18th July speech and media interaction, right? So Shri M. Rajeshwar Rao, Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India, has delivered a speech, and I have taken this particular question from the speech itself. Okay, next one. A key infrastructure for the commodity derivative markets has received continued recognition from SEBI. This moves ensure clearing community and regulatory oversight, which Clearing Corporation recently recognized renewal for 3 more years by Reserve Bank of India. Sorry, by the SEBI, not Reserve Bank of India. It is MCX CCL, right? MCX CCL. So we have seen that SEBI renews the MCX CCL recognition as Clearing Corporation for 3 more years. So MCX CCL is what? Multi Commodity Exchange Clearing Corporation Limited. Okay. So we need to remember the SEBI related news as well. Plus I am posting circulars on the SEBI related information. So please do watch that as well. I'll be posting some more circulars in few days. Okay. Next one. In a move to improve the working capital access for micro, small and medium enterprises, a new partnership has been formed under the trade receivables discounting system. So again, I told you guys, I told you that they can ask 2 questions, any one of them. It can be on the basis of purpose, it can be on the basis of the name of the entities as well. So SBI and TReDS is the correct one here, right? We just discussed this one. Then this is from the RBI report on the loan spread and bank lending trends in May 2025, right? Personally, I don't feel that they can ask you such a detailed question. Still, we have covered it in the finance current affairs session related to July as well, right? Still, you can have a quick look once you are done with each and everything. Okay, so once you are done with your syllabus, if you are having a free time, you can do this particular question as well. So as of now, I'm not covering it, just giving you a heads up. Like this can be done once you are able to conclude the rest of the things, right? RBI Gold Reserve, again you need to know the recent data, so I'm skipping this particular question. This is from the July month. This one can be important. Can you tell me the full form of GAAR? GAAR. Full form of GAAR. Anyone? Now this is not a finance current affairs question, but it is related to finance current affair question. The correct choice here is, guys, option D, general anti-avoidance rule. Okay, general anti-avoidance rule. Next one, what is the full form of DTAA? This can also be important. Again, it is not a finance current affairs, but it is related to the finance current affairs. DTAA. Anyone? Double taxation avoidance agreement. Okay, double taxation avoidance agreement. Let's suppose I'm working in USA. I'm earning income in USA. I'm earning income in India as well. So which country do I need to pay tax? So there are agreements called as double taxation avoidance agreement, so that I don't have to pay tax in both the countries, right? Next one. To facilitate seamless US dollar transaction in the GIFT City financial ecosystem, a prominent international bank has been designated as the settlement bank for CCIL. Important. This development supports the cross-border financial flows and deepens the India's integration with the global finance. Can you tell me the name of the bank which has been assigned this particular role? Very, very important. The correct choice is Standard Chartered Bank. Okay, Important question. Next one. Which of the following statement is are correct regarding the appointment of Standard Chartered as the USD settlement bank for CCIL IFSC Gift City Limited? The first statement, Standard Chartered IBU will enable real-time settlement of the USD transaction in the Gift City. This partnership aims to position Gift City IFSC as the global financial hub. The system will reduce operational friction and improve the liquidity management. Basically, all are correct here. Okay, all are correct here. Right. Next is again NPCI International expands the UPI footprint to the United Arab Emirates, right, UAE, to promote the cashless economy. So again, this we have already covered in our finance current affairs session. So what I did is, in this particular PDF, whenever you are downloading this PDF, it's a mix of MCQ question and the theory part as well of the finance current affairs. So you won't be getting that monotony if you are quickly reading this particular PDF. Okay. Next one. Despite of the global slowdown in the venture funding, India remains among the top destinations for the fintech investment. Can you tell me what is the India's rank in the fintech funding despite a 26% drop in half year 1 of the 2025? What was India's rank in the fintech funding globally? Not so important. Okay, not so important. The correct answer is third. Right? Not so important. Next one. The Asian Development Bank launched the UHC Peers Network to accelerate the universal health coverage across the Asia Pacific. The network is primarily aimed at facilitating dash among the healthcare sector stakeholders from the 25 countries. P2P, learning and practical knowledge here. Okay. Again, electricity futures. India is moving towards the launch of the electricity futures contract. This will be a major development, bringing flexibility, price stability and efficiency to the power sector. So please do remember this particular news again, can be very, very important. Okay, electricity futures. Next one, the first quarter of financial year 2026 witnessed moderate growth both in terms of credit and deposit mobilization in the banking sector. While the deposit growth slightly outpaced the credit, the overall expansion in the financial intermediation remains steady. How much did the bank credit and deposit grow year on year basis during April to June quarter 2025? April to June quarter, first quarter of the financial year 2026, right? $9.5 and 10.1 for the quarter 1 of 2025 है ना. आप BSR वाला याद कर लो, ज़्यादा बेटर है. ठीक है, फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स की जगह आप BSR वाले को प्रायोरिटी दो, राइट. प्लस BSR में से यू ऑल्सो नीड टू रिमेंबर कि हु इज आउट परफॉर्मिंग, लाइक पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक इज आउट परफॉर्मिंग या फिर प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक इज आउट परफॉर्मिंग. सो ये प्लीज आपको याद रखना है ना, BSR में से कैन बी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ दिस वन can be one of the most important question, right? That's why I have covered this question multiple times, okay, in my different session. This is regarding the SMREIT. What is SMREIT? Small and medium real estate investment trust. A very high probability question. One question can directly come from the SMREIT section, okay. So SEBI has taken a landmark step by granting the first ever registration for a small and medium real estate investment trust, and here the correct choice is Aurum PropTech. Okay, it's a listed company, Aurum PropTech. So after reading this news, I also bought the shares of Aurum PropTech. Okay, I think it's been 2 months or so, right? The correct option here is option E, Aurum PropTech. So SEBI grants the first ever SMREIT registration to the Aurum PropTech. Please do remember, very, very important. Okay, very high probability question, because so RBI loves to ask anything around the capital, any new news related to the capital markets and different sector, but specifically REITs and INVITs is one of the crucial area. Okay. So again, this is related to the April to June quarter, June wala financial year data regarding the foreign direct investment. It was 6.64 billion. You need to read the latest data only, right? Next one, RBI granted in principle approval to the Fintech startup. This approval falls in a specific regulatory category. Which category? Fintech firm EximPay received the RBI license. So EximPay has also received the RBI license related to the payment aggregator cross border. Okay, payment aggregator cross border. Next one, because SMREIT is in limelight, so that's why I have prepared earlier some of the questions related to SMREIT. What is the prescribed asset size? I am talking about the asset size of the SMREIT. The SMREIT asset size is anywhere around 50 to 500 crore, right? 50 to 500 crore. And can you also tell me the minimum number of unit holders required for an SMREIT? I hope you guys remember this one also. अच्छा 25 लाख वाला आप है ना अनलिस्टेड आई थिंक प्राइवेटली हेल्ड INVIT से कंफ्यूज कर रहे हो, ठीक है? ये SMREIT है, 25 लाख वाला क्राइटेरिया एज ऑफ प्राइवेटली प्लेस्ड INVITs जो हमने कुछ टाइम पहले पढ़ा था भाई लोग, वो अगस्त मंथ का फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स है. अभी हम जुलाई मंथ का फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ रहे हैं. सॉरी, वो सितंबर मंथ का फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स है जो कुछ टाइम पहले हमने पढ़ा था. वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और उसके ऊपर मैंने एक यूट्यूब शॉर्ट भी बनाया है, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली आज ही पब्लिश हो जाएगा, ठीक है? 25 लाख इज फॉर द प्राइवेटली प्लेस्ड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रस्ट, राइट? इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रस्ट. अच्छा, इसका क्या आंसर हो गया? 200 यूनिट होल्डर्स हो गया. ओके, 200 यूनिट होल्डर्स हो गया. अ मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ यूनिट होल्डर्स रिक्वायर्ड इज 200. नेक्स्ट वन, व्हाट इज द मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट अमाउंट in the SMREIT? Minimum investment amount. Yes, 10 lakh rupees. Acha, can you guys also tell me one more asset class that you can remember which is having the minimum investment amount of 10 lakhs? Anyone? We have studied that asset class multiple times. हाँ, मुकुंद ने इसका आंसर पहले ही दे दिया. Can you guys tell me one more asset class? WIF. WIF कौन सी asset class है भाई? अच्छा, SIF, ठीक है. Perfect. SIF, right? Specialized Investment Fund. Perfect. So Specialized Investment Fund, SMREIT, REIT, INVIT, इनके अराउंड अगर कोई भी न्यूज आ रही है छोड़ना मत बिल्कुल भी. वेरी हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी क्वेश्चन, राइट? Now this can also be important because it's directly related to a platform of RBI. The government of India has adopted a new direct reform of improving transparency and efficiency in the large value funds. I'm talking about the eCobar platform, right? eCobar platform. So centralized system is expected to streamline the large value disbursement and reduce the delay. From what threshold value onwards will all the government payments will now be compulsorily routed via eCobar platform? So I can see so many different answers like 75 crore, 100 crore. Okay. The correct choice here will be option C, 75 crore. Okay, this will be the, if the transaction is exceeding 75 crore, you need to route that transaction. You need to route that transaction via RBI's eCobar system to enhance the transparency and centralized control. Right. So we have read this particular news: mandatory routing of the government payments over 75 crore through RBI's eCobar platform. Very important. ठीक है. अब फेज 1 में भी आ सकता है, फेज 2 में भी आ सकता है, कहाँ आएगा किसी को नहीं पता है, इसलिए पढ़ लेना चाहिए, राइट। नेक्स्ट वन, which of the following companies has been recently added in the FTSE Russell, which is a global leader in benchmarking of the ESG performance? It is JSW Energy, okay? JSW Energy, perfect. Next one. Now we have covered this question yesterday as well. Still, we'll be covering it once again. Nvidia recently crossed a benchmark, right? What was the market capitalization level that was crossed by Nvidia recently? Now Nvidia becomes the first country to cross this particular historic market capitalization benchmark. No other company as of now has crossed this particular market capitalization. It is $4 trillion, okay? $4 trillion. This is again related to forex reserve, so I am as of now skipping it. You need to know the recent data. Next one. In a move aimed at better tracking of the sectoral performance with the Indian equities, the Bombay Stock Exchange, through its joint venture with the S&P Dow Jones, the Asia's Index Private Limited, has introduced a new index. And what is the name of that newly launched index? Very good. It is BSE Insurance Index, okay? It is Insurance Index. BSE has recently launched it, right? Again, the CMS, Computer Age Management System, a company, has introduced a new platform, CMS Pay Vertical. What is the nature of this? It is a payment gateway, okay? It was a payment gateway, right? Next one. To boost the green affordable housing in India, a leading multilateral development bank has extended a significant loan to a non-banking finance company. This funding aims to improve access to sustainable housing finance for low-income and underserved population, which organization has provided 100 million loan to the IIFL Home Finance. It was Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, okay? Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Option C. AIIB, right? CPI, again, you need to know the recent data, so I'm again skipping this one. Next one. The RBI is considering a globally recognized benchmark for overnight money markets. Which benchmark is under consideration for pricing overnight financial instruments in the Indian market? Which is in the hot topic as of now, guys. I'm talking about the global benchmark for the overnight financial instruments. MIBOR is not the correct choice. LIBOR is also not the correct choice. SOFR, Secured Overnight Financing Rate, right? SOFR is the correct choice. So this one I think we have covered already yesterday only regarding the pledging facility of the gold ornaments, right? So voluntary pledging is not at all a violation. That's what RBI clarified, right? This one again I'm skipping, right? Okay. As per the current estimates, what percentage of the total home loan value is now accounted for by the public sector banks? As per the recently published data in July 2025. What percentage of the total home loan value is now accounted for the public sector banks? A low probability question. 43%, okay? 43%. Next one. What alternative option banks are leaning towards? RBI has recently conducted a 7-day VRR auction to manage the access liquidity. However, auction was significantly undersubscribed. So this is again a July specific data. And what alternative options bank are leaning towards is overnight money markets. Okay, overnight money markets. Option B. Next one. India's shipping industry received a significant boost through the landmark FDI. Two Cyprus-based firms are investing a massive sum in Indian maritime infrastructure. What is the name of these two Cyprus-based firms? Option B. Option B here is the correct choice. Option B. Perfect. What is the NSE ranking globally in terms of IPO offering league? I am talking about the half yearly one data of 2025, which was a recently published data. The ranking was 4th, right? NSE ranked 4th globally in the IPO fundraising during the first half of 2025. Now this is again related to trade deficit, which is a particular month specific. So we again need to remember the current data only. Next one. What is the revised proposed investment cap for insurers and REITs and INVITs under the IRDAI's proposal? Can be important. Yes. Answer uska crude oil tha, hai na? Answer uska crude oil tha. What is the revised proposed investment cap for insurers in the REITs and INVITs? Anything around REIT, INVIT, SM REITs, SIF can be very, very important. The correct choice is 6%. Okay, 6% is the correct choice. IRDAI has proposed increasing the investment limit for insurers in both the entities here. Okay. Next one. Tell me this one. This is from the novation. This is from the novation of the derivative OTC derivative contracts wala draft circular. In a typical novation under the new framework, to whom these risks are transferred. So all the risk related to credit risk, market risk is transferred by one party to another, right? So what do you think? Risk is transferred from which party to the another party? What is the name? What is the technical name? Yes, from the transferor to the transferee. Transferor is going out, so you'll be assigning all the related risk related to credit risk, market risk, or any other kind of risk to the transferee, right? RBI has clarified that commercial agreements between the parties involved in novation may include financial arrangements like fees and charges. Where are such fees mentioned in the contractual document? I think we have covered this one as well yesterday only. The correct choice here will be outside the triple novation agreement, right? We have discussed that we keep these kind of fees and charges which is being charged by the transferor from the transferee outside the agreement. Next one. The IFSC at Gift City continues to attract the global institution. A new international banking unit is being set up by a leading Asian bank. Which bank has announced the establishment on this IBU, International Banking Unit? It was CTBC Bank. Okay, it was a Taiwan-based CTBC Bank that has announced setting up of an IBU, International Banking Unit, in the Gift City, right? UPI Pay Now corridor. How many total number of Indian banks are now associated with this particular UPI Pay Now corridor? So 19. Okay, 19. Next one. Regulatory vigilance in the insurance sector is being strengthened. A panel constituted by IRDAI has proposed significant reforms. What key reform has IRDAI panel suggested in the recent meeting? It was related to the prohibition of the mergers of the insurers with the non-insurance entity, right? Now again, this is a June specific data, so skipping this one. AI driven next banking platform Laravel, we have already covered it in the MCQ manner. Next one. Which two companies have recently formed a joint venture? A new partnership between a domestic and the global player in the reinsurance market. I think we have already covered it. Geo Financial Services and Alliance, right? They have recently got the approval from the IRDA as well. Earlier they have formed this particular joint venture. They have requested the IRDA for the approval, and in September they already got the approval as well, right? Next one. Which major financial institution has withdrawn from the NZBA, Net Zero Banking Alliance? वेरी गुड अतिथि, है ना. सबसे पहले तो GIC आ रही थी, उनकी मोनोपोली थी. फिर उसके बाद एक प्राइवेट कंपनी आई वैल्यू एटेक्स RE करके. फिर अभी दोनों ने जॉइंट वेंचर फॉर्म किया. किसने? जियो ने और अलायंस ग्रुप ने. द करेक्ट चॉइस हियर विल बी HSBC. ओके, HSBC हियर इज द करेक्ट चॉइस. ओके, HSBC. नेक्स्ट वन. In a significant regulatory development, a leading payment bank has been included in the RBI's list of scheduled bank. This inclusion allows the bank access to the liquidity facilities and enhances the credibility as well. Which payment bank has recently attained a scheduled status? NSDL Payment Bank, right? NSDL Payment Bank, perfect. Next one, to strengthen the risk management and reduce the systemic shocks, RBI has revised its, SEBI has revised its, RBI दिख रहा है मुझे SEBI की जगह भी, its risk containment measures for the derivative which asset class has seen margin rules being tightened by SEBI recently. It was electricity derivatives, right? It was electricity derivatives. So SEBI has tightened the margin rules for the electricity derivatives just to curb the speculation practices. Next one. A recent trend shows a preference for a particular source of finance due to its cost efficiency and flexibility. Which funding route has been becoming more attractive for the corporates nowadays? Which funding route is more attractive nowadays to the corporates? Now this is from an article of Economic Times. It was market borrowings. Okay, it was market borrowings. We discussed this particular thing in the July month in the finance current affairs session, though not so important. Okay, next one. To strengthen the capital base and meet the regulatory needs, the India's public sector banks are gearing up for major fund mobilization through the QIP in bonds. For FY26, how much capital do SBI and other PSBs aim to raise? It was 45k crore, right? 45,000 crore. Perfect. Next one, to support the sustainable development of a key employment generating industry, the government is planning to implement a credit rating mechanism, important, and establish a green investment fund. Which sector is being targeted for this financial reform? Very, very important. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Textile sector, okay, textile sector. This is regarding the credit rating system. MSME में तो ऑलरेडी है, ठीक है, MSME में तो ऑलरेडी है. And not just credit rating system, green fund specifically for the textile industry, okay. So that's why it's a combo of credit rating mechanism and green fund, green investment fund. That's why again it's a very very important question for your upcoming examination, okay. High probability question, direct आ सकता है, right. Next one, which of the following statements about the reform related to the comprehensive regulatory measure taken by SEBI recently in the electricity derivative market is incorrect or is false? None of the above. All are correct. All are true. None is false. Okay? None is false. Next one. The National Housing Bank has decided to publicly share a list of the refinance beneficiaries. What is the primary objective of this particular move? Primary objective of this particular move: to prevent misuse of the refinance funds, right? Because NHB has noted a misuse in the refinance funds, so that's why they don't want it as of now. Preventing the misuse of refinance fund will be the correct choice, ठीक है. हर बार all of the above नहीं होता है, हर बार none of the above नहीं होता है, ठीक है. सर तो हर बार none of the above देते हैं, all of the above देते हैं, तो इस बार वही होगा, तो ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है. Next one. Which state is said to receive 975 crore assistance? This is a northeast state. A major multilateral financial institution has recently extended funding support for enhancing the industrial areas, 9 industrial areas, and enhance employment. ठीक है, तो ये मोर ऑफ आपका प्रॉपर जनरल अवेयरनेस का क्वेश्चन हो गया, फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स का नहीं हुआ, ठीक है, कभी कभी आ जाता है ऐसे भी. इट इज त्रिपुरा, ठीक है. सो एडीबी ने सैंक्शन किया है यहाँ पे 975 करोड़ त्रिपुरा के लिए, ओके. नेक्स्ट वन, रीसेंट जीएसटी डेटा एनालिसिस. तो ये भी यार देखो, एसबीआई की रिपोर्ट है ना, तो कलेक्टिवली 5 स्टेट्स जो कंट्रीब्यूट करती है 50% ऑफ द ग्लोबल स्टेट. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज वन ऑफ दीज टॉप 5 स्टेट्स? सो यूपी इज वन ऑफ द टॉप 5 स्टेट्स, राइट. उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ठीक है. अच्छा, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स बताओ भाई कोई फटाफट से. जब याद नहीं आता है तो सारे ऑप्शन करेक्ट लगते हैं, सही बात है, बिल्कुल सही बात है. $67 है. आई डोंट थिंक ये तो कोई गलत बताने वाला है, ये सबको याद होगा. 67 इज द करेक्ट चॉइस, राइट. फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स विच वाज रिसेंटली रिलीज्ड. दोनों में से एक में से क्वेश्चन आ सकता है आपके एग्जामिनेशन के अंदर, ठीक है. या तो एफआई इंडेक्स में से आ जाएगा या फिर डीपीआई में से आ जाएगा, बहुत हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी है, ओके. जनरली करंट अफेयर पे आता है, जो रीसेंट डेटा है उस पर आता है, या उसके ड्राइविंग रीजंस पे आता है, बट उससे रिलेटेड पैरामीटर्स पे भी आ सकता है, राइट. Which among the 3 parameters hold the highest weightage in the index? यूजेज के अंदर सबसे हाईएस्ट वेट रहता है इस इंडेक्स के अंदर, राइट. सो यहां पे हमने देखा था अभी 67 का डेटा हो चुका है मार्च 2025 का, राइट. और ये सारे इसके डायमेंशंस होते हैं. यूजेज एंड क्वालिटी डायमेंशंस के अंदर मेजर इंप्रूवमेंट्स आने की वजह से ये डेटा इंक्रीज हो गया था, राइट. सो यूजेज एंड क्वालिटी, यूजेज एंड क्वालिटी, ठीक है. According to the World Bank estimate, India needs a massive investment to build resilient and inclusive urban infrastructure. So these investments are crucial for meeting the demand by 2050. How much investment is required in the India's urban infrastructure? It is $2.4 trillion. Okay, $2.4 trillion. Next one, important, very, very important, SEBI related thing. This is related to a platform to improve compliance workflow, right? So SEBI has launched a platform to improve compliance workflow. This is a unified reporting system in collaboration with all the stock exchanges. Just like we do have Pravah portal in RBI, this is सामूहिक प्रतिवेदन मंच, राइट? सही प्रोनाउंस कर रहा हूँ, आई थिंक मैं प्रोनाउंस इसको सही कर रहा हूँ, सामूहिक, यस, प्रतिवेदन मंच, राइट? दिस इज फॉर द SEBI रिपोर्टिंग पर्पस, जस्ट लाइक वी आर हैविंग Pravah portal, right? Important. This news we have already covered in the MCQ based manner, that IRDAI panel recommends that prohibition of the insurer and the non-insurance firm merger, right? Next one. What percentage of ethanol blending target was achieved by India in June 2025, 5 years ahead of its deadline? We have achieved 20%, right? 20%. So again, those who are reading the booklets will be able to definitely answer this one. To strengthen internal audit and governance framework, the NUCFDC signed a MOU with a recognized audit institution, obviously ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. This collaboration is aimed at enhancing the governance, specifically in which banking segment can be important. They can ask you the name of the entities as well, right? They can ask you the sector as well. It was UCBs, urban cooperative banks, okay, urban cooperative banks. AIF related circular आया था, उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन है, वेरी हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी, इंपॉर्टेंट सर्कुलर है, किसी न किसी फेज में जरूर आएगा. What is the maximum aggregate percentage of the corpus that can be collectively invested by all the regulated entities in a single AIF? 20%, right? 20%. Then we have also done a question related to find out the incorrect statement. The RBI digital payment index rose by 10.7% in March as compared to the March 2024. We are talking about the year-on-year growth. There are three more statements as well here. Can you tell me the incorrect statement? From all these statements, can you tell me the incorrect one? Second and third statement is incorrect, right? First and fourth are correct, second and third are incorrect here. Financial inclusion data 67 का था, usage और quality ने उसको drive किया था यहाँ पे, and we can see the weights as well. Usage का सबसे highest weight है, then followed by access and quality, right? How much of the indirect exposure must be regulated entity provide if the AIF corpus is 100 crore? So AIF corpus is 100 crore. The regulated entity invest in an AIF amounting to 8 crore. The AIF channel funds into the debtor company, right? So the regulated entity, what the regulated entity did is they invested in a AIF. Now there was a debtor entity as well, to whom regulated entity has already given a loan, and AIF has again invested in the debtor entity. So how much you need to provide for? You need to provide for 3 crore, right? 3 crore over and above 5% you need to provide for, that we have learned in this particular circular, right? Over and above 5 crore, 5% of the total corpus we need to account for as a provision, right? As a provision. Acha, can you guys tell me which of the following instrument is not exempt and would still trigger the provisioning rules if used in such transition? I'm again talking about the IF rules only. Bonds, right? Bonds, equity shares, and those securities that are equivalent to equity shares are already covered in this, right? If it's a subordinated units of AIF, what we need to do, we need to deduct it from tier 1 and tier 2 capital, right? That's what we have learned. The Asian Development Bank has given a projected GDP growth for financial year 2026. So ADB की कितनी ग्रोथ थी वहाँ पे 6.5% थी, ठीक है? अच्छा, can you tell me this AIF direction will be effective from which date? This AIF direction will be effective from which date? From 1st of March, sorry, from 1st of January 2026 है ना. यहाँ पे आई थिंक ऑप्शन डी गलत है, ऑप्शन ई होना चाहिए था, राइट? 1st of January 2026, ठीक है ना. से डी ऑप्शन यहाँ गलत है, यहाँ पे ई होना चाहिए था. 1st of January 2026, यस, है ना. बहुत सारे सर्कुलर्स हैं जो हमारे 1st of January से इफेक्टिव हैं, तो आपको डेट्स याद करने में ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं आनी चाहिए. ओके, so these are all the limits that you need to learn from the AIF side, so please do it very well. Next is regarding India's new national cooperative policy, which was introduced to revitalize the rural credit and strengthen the cooperative institution. It proposes the formation of which entities to support these goals. Important. So I think आज बहुत सारे questions हो गए हैं. I think 60 plus तो ही गए होंगे, 60-65 plus तो ही गए होंगे, right? No doubt सीरीज का नाम 500 plus question है. I think anywhere around 550-600 भी जा सकते हैं. Option C, National Apex Cooperative Bank. So they have proposed for the formation of a National Apex Cooperative Bank. Okay. ओके 81 क्वेश्चंस अराउंड हो चुके हैं. ये सब कुछ मैंने स्किप कर दिए हैं, वो लोग आप क्या कर सकते हो, पीडीएफ डाउनलोड करके फटाफट से एक बार एट ग्लांस देख सकते हो, ठीक है. जो मुझे लगता है हम बार बार कवर कर चुके हैं ऑलरेडी, या फिर थोड़े कम इंपॉर्टेंट है वो मैं जनरली क्या करता हूँ, स्किप कर देता हूँ, ठीक है. सो दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माय एंड फॉर टुडे गाइस. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग दिस सेशन. मिलते हैं अगले सेशन के अंदर. आई थिंक मोस्ट प्रोबेबली कल ही होगा. यस, टुमारो अगेन विल बी योर सेशन. सो विल बी डिस्कसिंग जून मंथ को उठाते हैं, जुलाई, अगस्त, वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन, सितंबर वी आर ऑलरेडी डूइंग इन द फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर सेशन, राइट. सो थैंक यू सो मच. बाय बाय, टेक केयर, कीप रिवाइजिंग on a regular basis, and best wishes to all of you. हाँ, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली जून का ही है ना, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली आपका जून का ही होगा, बिकॉज आई वांट टू गो इन दैट ऑर्डर ओनली. पहले अगस्त, फिर जुलाई, फिर जून एंड सो ऑन, राइट. सो 3 to 4 मंथ्स में आपके सबसे ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, ऐसा ट्रेंड बोलता है. उसके बाद आपके बाकी बचे हुए मंथ्स भी हम लोग कवर करेंगे, राइट. सो अभी तो 4th क्लास हुई है. आई थिंक देर आर 10 क्लासेस मेरी फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स की. उसके बाद RBI सर्कुलर्स और सेबी सर्कुलर्स की और होने वाली है. 10 क्लासेस में अदिति जितना कवर होना चाहिए उतना हम जाने का ट्राई करेंगे. कम से कम हम मार्च तक जाने का ट्राई करेंगे, राइट. मार्च अप्रैल तक जाने का ट्राई करेंगे डेफिनेटली, ठीक है. सो 4 क्लासेस हुई है. सो ऑलमोस्ट 5 to 6 मंथ्स का हम टारगेट कर लेंगे, ठीक है. 5 to 6 मंथ्स टाइम मिला तो 7 मंथ्स तक भी चले जाएंगे.